Oh, hey there. You know, one of the most interesting things for me about the ride is that it's based on a true story. Most of my films have at least contained elements from my life, be it a weird coworker or a vivid nightmare, but the ride is the first time that I actually had something that was weird enough to warrant an entire script, pretty much exactly as it happened. So today, we're going to explore this story, which occurred back in the fall of 2001. I don't have a driver's license, even after having moved to Los Angeles, which means I'm usually at the mercy of public transportation. In my early 20s, this self-imposed handicap became a problem because I was constantly late for work. Much like the lead character in the ride, Greg. One morning, I missed my bus and realized that I was going to have to call my job and explain, and I was pretty sure that I was going to be fired as a result of it. Luckily, just as I was pulling out my phone, a stranger walked by, noticed I was in distress, and offered to take me wherever it was I needed to go. Almost as soon as I had accepted the ride, I started to notice a few things that didn't seem to be quite right. He was a full-grown man, dressed like he did office work of some sort, but he also sported a shiny pair of fresh braces. He also drove a white cargo van, much like this one. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said, "I sell espresso machines." As soon as we got in the car, things went from strange to stranger. The back of the car didn't contain any traces of espresso machines, but it did contain a lot of old newspapers and power tools. We seemed to be driving in the opposite direction of my job. Then he ended up taking a phone call, the gist of which seemed to be that he was changing all of his P.O. boxes and that those fuckers are never going to get a dime out of him. Once we got in the freeway, I concluded that I made the wrong decision and that this guy was some kind of a serial killer and I was going to end up being raped and murdered and left in a ditch somewhere. I tried to weigh out my options. I could either throw myself out of a moving vehicle, try to signal to help from a commuter, or wait for him to make a move and then defend myself with my non-existent fighting skills. However, he got off the freeway and moments later I was in front of my job. This is essentially the same story that we follow in the ride, with the added element of going into Greg's imagination and seeing him as he visualizes what might actually happen to him over the course of this trip, which sort of takes the film and moves it into a territory it's a bit closer towards a dark comedy or a fantasy. Well, that about does it for today. Thank you for all of your support and donations. It's really helped a lot. You can still come and find us on Facebook.com, WaylonBacon.com, or on Indiegogo.com. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll see you next time.